This one night, I'd invited a bunch of my friends to come out, meet me, and we were all there. Everybody had arrived, about like 7 or 8 of us, and one of our friends brought a volleyball, so we were all playing that, and we're having a laugh. And my friend had invited his other friend along, and he comes, and I noticed him. I'd met him before, and literally 1 week ago, I was with a friend, and we were walking somewhere, and we saw him and his friend walk past us. When I walked past him, I nodded my head, and we didn't really say much. But then when I saw him, I was like, yo, I saw you like a week ago, right? I was speaking about what he was doing, and we got into a really nice conversation. He was a really fucking genuinely cool guy, and he was super close with one of my really close friends. And I mentioned like, oh yeah, we should hang out sometime. Like, I'd love to catch up with you. And for that rest of the night, nothing really happened. I didn't get his like contact details. None of that. I just kept enjoying my night, kept, having a nice conversation with everybody around. He ended up having to go home pretty soon, I'm pretty sure. In the end, nothing happened until a few days went by, and I asked my friend if I could get his contact. So he sent me his contact, and I was messaging this guy that I'd met. I literally just, on the spot, I was like, fuck it, because I was going out on this boat thing with some of my family, and I was like, yo, you want to come join me on this boat thing? And he was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm down. So on the day, at like 12, he comes over. I meet him like outside my place. He comes into my house when I've just woken up. I slept until like 11:30 or something. And he meets my parents. We drive to this boat thing. We were having a nice conversation. He was actually a really social guy. He was carrying. I'd literally just gotten out of bed and I was super tired. He was so much fucking fun to be with. Throughout that day, I got super close with him. I had an amazing experience, and I still remember that day. And that was the day that I got really close with this guy, because we hung out so much more. He's genuinely such a close friend to me, and we hang out all the time. So by the end of this video, I want to teach you how I was just talking to this guy. This was just a guy that I would speak to sometimes, to genuinely him becoming a good friend of mine. And there's a really important point in that story that I'm going to come back to at the end of the video. By the way, I'm going to be uploading tons of value that I don't share on YouTube onto my Instagram, so go follow that there. One day I was walking to one of my classes, and there's this guy, he's always really friendly, and I dabbed him up. I was like, hey man, how you doing? He's like, yeah, I'm good, how are you? Nothing much. We just kept doing that for a couple weeks. And actually, I'd known him for over a year. This one day, I was speaking to him. He was getting lunch, and we were in the queue together, and we were having he was really fun to talk to. He's a really warm person. And I said, yo, do you box, right? And because we've been talking about how he'd been getting into boxing, and I love boxing. And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, tomorrow, lunchtime, come to the gym with me, let's go box. He's like, yeah, fuck it, I'm down. So the next day, guess what happened? I'm pretty sure it didn't even work out. He's like, oh, sorry man, I had to study for this test or some shit. Then the day after, we went to the gym, and we had a good session of boxing together. Now this was a guy that I would just casually speak to whenever I saw him, just say, hey, how are you? But he wasn't really like a friend. He was just like that kind of guy. You see him around and you just, you greet him, but he's not really a close friend. It went from that to, I always speak to him. I always, every now and then I grab dinners with him. He's genuinely a really good friend of mine, and I love spending time with him. We became really close, and we were literally catching up for dinner. It was a week or two ago. He had become such a good friend that even I was asking him for advice when he used to be just somebody I was talking to. The whole point that I'm making about this is we weren't that close, but as soon as I put in the effort, and I just literally all I did was say, hey man, you want to come join me do this thing tomorrow? Give it time, give it an activity. When I met up with both these guys, first of all, I was already speaking to them. The thing, I'm not teaching you guys in this video how to get into better conversations. I'm just saying, once you're already getting into good conversations with these few people that you enjoy speaking to when you see them around. All I did was ask them. It didn't really work out perfectly with my friend who couldn't come to box. He actually ended up canceling on me, but we made it work another time. In the end, they both became super close friends of mine. I can call them if I've got issues. I love spending my time with them. And the only reason that happened was because I literally just asked them to meet up. About a week ago, I met up to play tennis with my friend. But the thing is, he'd left my school a year ago or something, and on the last day when I saw him leaving, accidentally I bumped into him. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna miss you, bro. And I greeted him goodbye, but I didn't really speak to him for the next year. Pretty much forgotten he existed. I messaged him one day I was like, you know what, fuck it. I was like, hey man, how you doing? We had like a brief chat on, I had his contact, and I said, yo, do you want to come play tennis with me this Saturday? As soon as I met up with him, he was such a fucking funny guy to be around. Like, I genuinely really enjoyed my time with him. Super funny guy, super warm. He like offered to take me out on a night out, and you know, it's like a bit later now. That hasn't worked out so far, but I'm still gonna try and meet up with him again. And the point that I'm making with all of this, I literally, with this guy, I didn't even realize that he would have liked me. Honestly, when I was sending the message, I was super unsure if he was even gonna respond. But I just went for it because I remember he was a really warm guy. And I knew that these thoughts in my mind were just, they're not good things. They're just your brain trying to like hold you back. I messaged him, yo, tennis Saturday time. I don't know why, I was just so happy after spending that time with him. Genuinely great person. I wanted to give you stories of when I haven't even been speaking to these guys for a long time, but all I did was just throw out this invite, and I ended up having a really amazing time and building a really close friendship. And that's really all it is. This is not a video of how I teach you how to like get into conversations better or get over social anxiety or be funny. None of that. I don't mention any of that in this video because most people don't even need that. Most people just need to ask, and that alone would make them more social. Thanks for watching this, bro. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. Follow my Instagram if you want more stuff that I'm not putting on my YouTube. And yeah, feel free to message me. Have a great day, bro.